My name is Wanda Smith, and I know most of you that are on here already know that, but I post this also sometimes on YouTube, and I just want to do a brief introduction. I'm a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I teach these classes, and I work with paper, ink, and stamps, and hopefully you like what you see. So these kits right here with this technique class today, what I'm showing is there's one basic fold, and with that one basic fold we get to make three completely different cards. The way they fold is different also, or the way they open, I'm sorry, is different. So let me show you the way they open. The fold in itself is like this. It's sort of like a W, they call it W card, but when you're holding it like this, it looks like an M. But this is a W fold or M fold, whatever you want to call it. And with this M fold, with this fold, you can make various different, you can make different cards. And I want to show you what I mean. On this one, I added a piece over here, so it just made it longer. And what we use to make this, our main product here, is designer series paper. And this designer series paper is cut at 5.5 by 12. It's the original designer series paper is 12 by 12. So these are just cut down to 5.5 by 12, and then they're scored. So I'll show you where they're scored and how to get this. So this is the first one, so it opens completely and it can stand very easily. This is the second one where it doesn't open completely. It opens up just like a regular A2 card fold opens. And then we have this one, which doesn't open at all because this is a gift card. Here's where you write your message, stamp your greeting, and then you put a gift card in here. So this one doesn't open at all. It's tied together with ribbon, and it's just simply beautiful. I love this one. I love because this is my favorite because of the designer series paper. But we'll get to each of these individually. So let's start with the first one, which is this one. And I'm going to get my, oh my. Okay, I'm going to get my kit, and I think I'm missing, oh no, I did this on purpose. I'm missing the designer series paper because I wanted to cut it and show you how I did this. Or where the scoring goes. These are just my extra pieces that I always have around. So bear with me while I get them out. Meanwhile, if you're following along with me, just get your stuff ready. One more. Here it goes, a medium. So these have 3 different sizes, these flowers. Okay, so let me put the finished card on the side. These are the pieces that you should have in your kit. And bear with me. The only piece missing here is the designer series paper, and that's on purpose because I want to cut it with you or show you how I cut it and where are the scoring. Hi Ruth, hi Arlene, I'm glad you're here. So let me get my designer series paper and we'll get started with this. So I'm going to use a different one because I think I've already exhausted and given out and made copies of the designer series paper that's in your kit. So just follow along, it doesn't matter. So like I said, we start out with a 12 by 12, and this 12 by 12, this designer series paper is called Paper Blooms, and it's free It's free in your Sale-A-Bration catalog, and it started on January 5th, just a few days ago, and it goes through February 28th. When you purchase $50 or more, you get to pick products from the Sale-A-Bration catalog. And one of the free products is this paper. It's this designer series paper. It's called Paper Blooms. And it matches with a lot of things in our catalog. It's showing that it matches here with, let me see. It's a stamp set. It coordinates with, I'm lost here. Oh, right here. Duh. It'll tell you right here. This is on page 3, and it coordinates with Pretty Perennials bundle, which is in the in the January-June catalog, which is the mini catalog, which is this one. So all the products here in Sale-A-Bration coordinate with your products in either the January-June mini catalog or the annual catalog. So this is what we're going to use. I had a ton of these packets from the design packs of designer series paper because, as you know, I purchased for my classes and for myself also. And this I had a bunch of these because I thought they were really cute. So I think I used this one, last Saturday in one of my classes. So let's get started and cut this. So like I said, you start with a 12 by 12 piece, and we're going to cut this down to 5.5. Is it 5.5? Hold on. I'm always get confused whether, no, 5.25. You see, that's why measure twice or look at your instructions twice and cut once. So it's 5.25 by 12. And you have enough to make 2 cards. Then we're going to score this at 2 inches, 5 inches, and I'm using my stamping trimmer, which I love, 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 and 8 inches. So you have 2 ways of doing this. You can extend the arm and go to 8 inches and score, but I'm lazy, or I like to do things faster so that I don't have to open the arm and close the arm again. So I know it's 4 inches on the other side. So I just flipped it over to the other side and it scored at 4 inches. But the measurements really are 2 inches, 5 inches, and 8 inches. And if you want to turn it over and score, instead of opening the arm, it's 4 inches. So let me move this out of the way. And then what you need to do is you just take and fold those score lines. It doesn't matter which side you're going to use, but because you're going to score them on both sides, just so that it's easy folding when you decide what you're going to do. On this one, it finishes off like this. So I could either do it this way and have, when I open up, this to be my inside, or just fold it the other way. And when you open it up, you have this. I like this one better, I think. Yep, I'm going to go with this one. Okay, so after you decide which way you're going to fold your cards, and those of you who purchase the kits, you do the same thing. Decide, I gave you the paper that I use in my sample, which is this one over here. If you like the other side better for the inside, do it your way. This is your card, and I provided the materials for you to make it in your kit, or you purchase the materials for you to make it in your kit, but you use whatever side you want. That's what I love about this, is that anyone can be creative, and everyone says I'm not creative, and then they take their supplies and they start inventing their own card or reinventing the card. And that's what I like. What I'm showing you is just a sample. I'm giving you an idea, a template, and you make this your own. Okay, so now we folded this like this. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is, oh, I'm missing a piece here. Hold on. I'm missing this piece right here. Okay. So you can do whatever you want with your materials, just this is the idea. So let's go from the inside out. So now I want to, right here, get the middle piece in here. And we're going to do some stamping. So you know what? Let's do all the stamping. So you're going to think of whatever greeting you want on the inside. And the greeting I use for this one is another Sale-A-Bration product. It's called Approaching Perfection. And this is on what page? Let me see. Here it goes. This is on page 6 of the Sale-A-Bration catalog, and it's free with a $50 purchase. It's called Approaching Perfection, and I love the stamp set. It has some really cute birthday greetings here. It says, the bad news is I forgot your birthday. The good news is I forgot your age. Hey. So what if you're a year older? You're fabulous. Happy birthday. And then if things really get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. Hence the name of the stamp set itself. And then newsflash. Birthdays found to be good for health. Study shows that people who have more birthdays live longest. So here you go, everybody keep having those birthdays. And then you have the balloon and the these candles over here. So this is what I'm going to use for this card here. So let me start with, let me get my foam pad here. Let's start with the inside greeting. And it's the newsflash one. So I'm going to stamp that with Night of Navy. So let me get my ink on my stamp. Make sure you got enough ink. I got some on the edge, but if I'm lucky, it won't show up. Let me try cleaning it off just in case. So I know I'm out of camera, but I'll show you again what I did. I had ink over here on the edge. I just wiped it off. And it doesn't look like it's inked in the middle. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up and stamp it in the middle as much as possible. And just stamp and leave it there for a few minutes, because like I've said it before, and it's been a while since I've said this, leave it on there for a couple of seconds, because you need the ink, the cardstock to absorb the ink. If you just go stamp and pull it up, you're pulling up the ink. So you leave it there for a few seconds and you get a nice image. So that's that one. Let me clean this off because it's got lots of ink on it, and it's Night of Navy, which is dark, and any dark ink gets attracted to white paper. Okay, so that's that one. Now I'm going to do this one, and this one we're going to use Seaside Spray and Night of Navy also. And just in case you're wondering, how do I know which inks or cardstock coordinates with the Designer Series paper? If you look in the back part of your Designer Series paper, it has the name, then it tells you what colors coordinate with it. Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, Soft Sea Foam, and Whisper White. which we don't have anymore. We have, it's called Bright something, Bright White. It's called Bright White, but it's exactly like Whisper White. And those things were printed way before Stampin' Up had the issue with Whisper White manufacturer not or going out of business. So they found this new one and they were able to get the same quality as the Whisper White, which was awesome. Okay, and then now I'm going to use the Happy Birthday from Approaching Perfection. Also, like I said, these are all from that stamp set. Nice and inked up. And all I'm going to do is stamp very close to it and almost over the candles. And if it stamps over the candles, that's fine. That's why we start with the lighter image first and then use stamp over with the dark image. Okay, so we're done with our stamping. Again, let me clean this up. And I'm using our chamois here. This you can purchase also. These chamois are wonderful. They come in complete like this, but I cut them and I cut it in half because when I'm using the Stamparatus, I like to pick it up and clean it off right on the Stamparatus. But it comes at this size. I think this is 6 by 9. I don't remember right now. Let me see. Oh no, 5 by... Oh, I'm completely off. It's 5 inches by 6 3/4. So all I do is cut it in half and then just put it in one of these stamp sets cases that we also sell. And that helps keep it moist because you have to wet it. And when you first get it, it's moist. It's already wet. And you can use it directly, but it starts drying up. And then all you have to use is water and you just get it all wet again. Not soaping wet, just moist. That's it. Okay, let me put these stamps to the side and let's keep putting this card together. So you have a bit of the what is this called? Yeah, Seaside Spray. I have a Seaside Spray layer for this one, so let's get that done and put it together. And I'm using our stamping seal. And when you're using the stamping seal, the trick to getting this so that it continues is when you're done, lift and pull. And I didn't do that in the last one, so that's why it took me a while to get it back rolling again. And all you have to do is just pull it a little and it starts working. So let's center. You have a very skinny layer for this. So let's center that. Whoops, and I did not center that. Hold on. It's a little bit off. And I was going to put this originally when I started designing this card. I didn't have a layer. I didn't have the oh gosh, what is it called? I can't get it into my brain. Seaside Spray. I didn't have the Seaside Spray layer. I just had the Whisper White and that was it. But then when I put it again down on the card, it looked like it needed something. So then I just added the Seaside Spray. I was going to add a layer of Night of Navy, but decided that Seaside Spray would be better, and it brings it out from here. Okay, and I have a layer for this also. So we're going to layer this one. See, if I do it the right way, it's ready for the next one. And this layer is a little bigger. You have like a bigger layer this size. Let me tell you my sizes. The Whisper White and the, let me get you the size. For the Whisper White, this one is 2.5 by 3 3/4. And then this one right here is 1 7/8 by 2.5. And then obviously the layers are a little bit bigger. So this layer here is 2 1/8 by, no, I'm sorry, it's 4 inches by 2 3/4. So this is 2.5 by 3 3/4, the Whisper White, and the Night of Navy is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to now adhere this. And there we go. And center it on this part here. So it's more or less like this. Okay, so that's centered. When you close the card, you can see a piece of it here, but we're going to fix that. And you can leave it like that if you want. I mean, it doesn't look bad. You know, you don't have to cover that up. But if you're writing a message here on your card and you go past that border, then it'll look kind of funny, and we don't want anything to look funny. So another thing I did over here with this card was I added another layer to it. And what I did was I took this, whoops, I took this piece from, I cut out this piece, this die from, hold on, I think I have it over there. Nope, I have it here. Ornate Borders dies. This is from the Ornate Borders die set, which we have lots of borders. I started out with this one, and then I didn't like it too much, so I switched it. I actually think, let me see. Oh, no, it's the same one. I switched it after. But it has borders so that you can put these borders on the edges of your cards, and it just makes, it just enhances the look of your card. So this is Ornate Borders, and this is in the annual catalog, and it's very, very pretty, a good die set to have, because it'll just enhance it in whatever way you want. And I'm having trouble closing this, and it doesn't matter because I still have to put that on there. Okay, so what I did was I inked this up here, and you can do this, I mean, I adhered this piece right here, and you could do this by various forms. You can do this by adding some stamping seal, glue dots, or liquid glue. So I'm going to use liquid glue on this one. Maybe glue dots might have been easier. I don't know, but I'll try liquid glue. And what I'm going to do is, let me get this going, because I haven't used this for a few days. So the ink kind of, I mean, the glue kind of tends to not want to come down immediately, even though I have this hanging down. It takes a bit. Hold on. Let me just get a piece of scratch paper here. Sometimes you just need to get it started. Come on. Don't be shy. Kelly, you can't hear me. Go to the volume in your, on the right hand side on the bottom, and hit that, or check the volume control on your computer, because everyone else can hear me, right? Okay, so I think I'm going to have to give up on this today. I think maybe it's empty. It could be. I doubt that it's empty. Wait, one last resource. You can stick your tool in there and just make sure that you clean this off very well. Okay. I think, yay, I got some. Okay, so I'm just going to put a few dots here and there, and very thin dots, not a lot, because remember this, when you press it down, it spreads. So you don't want it coming out of the sides. And this, whoa, had that there. And this adhesive, and I should have had my silicone pad there, which I'm going to get now. This adhesive is very, very strong. Okay, so you're going to adhere this. Let that dry and we'll get it off soon. And the reason I like liquid glue is because you have time to move it around before it becomes permanently stuck on there. So you see one end of your die cut here probably has a blunt end. So just line it up with that blunt end here, or the squared off end, and you probably will have to trim off a little. And there we go. And as you can see, I have to trim off a little. Not much, just a little, because I put it here on the end. And just get it nice and squared off. But it should be very close to this piece that you have. Okay, so now what we're going to do is adhere this. This piece is larger. This piece is 5 1/4. This is 5 1/2. So before we adhere that, let me get this out of the way because everything's going to get stuck on that. So before we adhere this piece onto this one, we're going to adhere the Designer Series paper to a piece of 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 cardstock, and I'm using Night of Navy. And I'm going to use liquid glue because this, I want to have it really centered, nice and centered. And I think I went a little bit too far there. So I want this nice and centered, so I want some time to move it around. So you should have a layer it down and center it on there and hold it in place and then smooth it out. Hold it in place first before you smooth it out, because lots of times I put it in the right place and when I start smoothing it out, I move it. Thank you, Ruth, for letting me know that you can hear me. Like I said, Kelly, what you need to do, this is Kelly Santiago de Santiago. What you need to do is make sure on the right bottom corner of the video, it doesn't have an X. And if that doesn't have an X, then check the volume on the device that you're using and you should be able to hear me. Okay, so now we already have these layers here. See, simple. Now what I want to do is add this piece here. Oh, what happened to that piece there? I got it all smudged. Oh, getting ink all over me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the Designer Series paper. You see how I centered it here on that base there? I'm going to center it here. Just enough to cover, just enough to cover this over here. Let me show you. See, and it'll cover that there. So I'm just going to put a little bit or a line here, not all the way up, not all the way down, because remember this piece is longer than my designer series paper. And center it. So just measure, you know, you can eyeball it, or if you're using something that has lines and you can do it by a ruler or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Turn it over and make sure that it's centered. It should go from the top to the bottom. And now we have this. So we had the W fold, or like I say, M fold, because it's upside down. We had W fold if it was like this. So, but it's called the W fold. I've never heard it being called the M fold. Okay, so now we have this, and we're ready. Now this piece over here, then we're going to decorate, and we're going to decorate it with this stamped image here with our greeting, and with these flowers here. And these flowers also came, these little flowers came from the Ornate, what is it called again? Ornate Borders die. And let me pull them out. Here they are. Okay, some of you might be wondering what this is here. This is, I'll show you, a magnetic parts tray. Usually mechanics use this, carpenters use this. I bought this on Amazon, and it has a little stand here. And what this is, this whole tray is magnetic. So when I'm working with little dies, I don't want to lose them, and they're really easy to lose. So I just use this thing. I put them in here. Even with the big dies, it'll hold them, and nothing gets lost. You see? And I keep all my dies together when I'm working with something. So this is just a tip that when you, especially when you're working with a lot of dies, specifically little dies, you can use this. I do not remember how much it costs. I know I got it on Amazon, and it's called a magnetic parts tray. Just a little tip to help you out. Okay, so let's continue with this. Let's get this adhered to that piece that we just put on there. See, when I started, and you just center it. When I started just with the white piece, and I said, no, it needs something else. And you know how I am with layers. I love layers. So this is what I did. I just added a tiny little layer of Seaside. Let me see if I got it right. Seaside spray. Yeah. I get this one and the foam one. What is it called? The foam one is called, hold on, because we have the Seaside spray and soft sea foam. Whoa. Everything went blank on my screen for a moment. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened. I hope I'm still live, but I went blank. Give me a second here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Hopefully I didn't. Okay. That's good. So I'm still here, but my I guess because I wasn't moving the mouse around or anything, my screen went blank. So hopefully you can all still hear me and see me. I seem to be stuck here. Holding on. Hold on. I just want to make sure that I'm still live. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. Yay! I think I'm back. No, it's... Okay. I'm back! Okay. Well, I'm back for me. I hope I didn't go away for any of you. Let me just... I don't have my comments on. Hold on. There we go. I just want to see the comments so that if you guys are commenting, I can see them. And somehow my comments disappeared. Oh, because I think I have to make this bigger, that's why. Hold on, I'll get there. And somehow my comments disappeared. Okay, I'm back, I think. Yep. Okay, thanks for letting me know, guys, that you can still see me and I'm okay. I panicked there for a second. Okay, so now we've got this on. Now I'm going to add these flowers from the Ornate Garden or the Ornate Dies. And I'm just using dimensionals for this. Simple enough. For the little one, I think I'm going to use a mini dimensional. Here. And these have little holes in the front where, I don't know, I mean, oops, this dimensional is too close to the border and I can see it, and you don't want to see that. So let me see if I can remove it. And yes, I removed it along with a piece of cardstock. So let me start on the other side. There you go. And I think I'm going to use mini for this one too. And if you don't have many dimensionals, just cut down your regular dimensionals. That should do it. Let's see if this piece worked. Perfect. Okay, let's get rid of this piece here. Press down on your dimensionals before taking off the backings. And one thing I'm going to show you with the dimensionals also, because we have those 3 little holes there, things might get stuck on it. So what you need to do, and this you can place anywhere you want. This is where I placed mine. It says my live video was interrupted. Okay, now it's not. So what I did was I just rubbed it so that you can get the adhesive off so stuff won't get stuck on there. Now also I think I gave, yes I did. I gave you some, whoa, that popped. Here we go. I gave you some dots that, okay, where did you go? It fell right on here. I heard it fall, but I can't see it. Okay, I'll just use another. So I gave you these dots. They're from the annual catalog, and they're dots that match the new in colors. Okay, I don't know where my other dot went, so I'm just picking another, and you watch, I'm gonna find it because it's gonna stick on something I don't want it to stick to. Let's see if it's on the back. No, and I heard it fall here, but it disappeared. Okay, so I think we're done with this one. So this one unfolds completely, as you can see. And then we added an extra piece here to cover up the message over here, and we're done with this. So if you want to write something, if you have a lot to say and you want to write something, what you can do is just take more. You can take a couple more of these, make them either layered or non-layered, and you put them in here, and you write more a personal note to the person you are giving this to. If you just don't have anything else to say, to, from, and that's it, you're done. But if you want to write personal notes, you can do that here. So you can make 2 more of these. Make them, I would suggest that you make them the same height, even though they might be a little bit more narrow. Let me see if it's good, if you can get the same exact one here. Hold on. So this is at 3 3/4. So no, it won't fit. The most you can get here would be a 2.5 on each of these panels. So I would cut this out, the Night of Navy, at 2.5 by 4, so that they're 4 inches height, 4 inches in height, and it just looks even. It'll make it look nice and even. And then 2.5 inches wide. That would be if you're going to layer it, or you can just, I would layer it, me personally, I would layer it with the Night of Navy, and then you just cut out the white pieces. If you're going to do this at 2.5, you cut out the white pieces at 2.25 by 3 3/4. And you can just do one if you just need one, or if you have a lot to say, you can make 2 of them. So Whisper White would be 2.25 by 3 3/4, and the Night of Navy would be 2.5 by 4, and that would get you these pieces over here. And this one is a little bit wider. This one, the Night of Navy, is 2 3/4 by 4. So they're all going to be 4 inches tall if you're going to add here. And that's it for this one. Nice card. I love it. And this is a way to use up your designer series paper, my people. And if, like I said, this is free. So you're going to get a lot of free stuff if you order the other products, like the stamp sets or whatever. This stamp set is free also. But there are a lot of suggestions on what you can get in coordinating products that'll get you to the $50, so that you can you can get these awesome stamps like this one and designer series paper like this one. So we're done with this one. I love them both. I can't decide. Okay, let's put this away and let's go to our next card. And let me see if I can find my next card. Here you go. So I'm going to go from the ones that take the longest to do to the one that's nice and quick. So this one opens up like your regular A2 card stock. I mean A2 card. So let me get the materials for this. And I've got it right here. Let me pull everything out. And let me see if I got everything. This and one of these, I think. So I think I've got everything. Yep, looks like I pulled everything out that I need. Okay. So let me see. Okay, this one here, I have it. You see that I'm gonna do this backwards. I had this one folded the other way, which is this way. You see? Now I'm going to make this card with the designer series paper folded this way. Like I said, you have so many options with this fold, this W fold. You have so many options. So I'm going to do it this way just to show you how different a card will look if you just change the side of the designer series paper. So let's get started again with the inside. Actually, let's get started with putting it on our base. So the base, this is Rococo Rose, and it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm just going to adhere this. You can use a stamping seal if you still have some of the other adhesive that we sold, which was, I can't even remember the name now. It's been a while since I've been using the seal, and before I couldn't remember the name of the seal, and now I can't remember the name of the old one. Okay. So hold it in place. Good morning, Claudette. Nice to have you here. Okay, so now this looks like the other one that we had, but we're going to do something a little different. Now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these two sides together and this side together so that when it opens like an A2 card. So that's easy enough to do. So just take some seal or take the liquid glue, whichever one you prefer. And try to get on this one as close as you can to the edge. And close that one. Okay, so now we have that flap closed. Now we need to close this one. And again, like I said before, try to get it as close as you can to the edge. And press, and voila, you have that fold right there. So it's using the same 5 1/4 by 12, but you're just adhering these two parts in on the side, and that'll give us a different opening for the card. And by doing that, you're saying, well, you're wasting all that designer series paper, but I'm not really, because remember, we have these folds and you get these folds here. Another way of doing it, you say, oh, well, I can just cut this and that. It's too complicated. Just take the whole 12 inches and fold it by scoring it at the 2, the 5, and the 8. And that'll make it a lot easier. Okay, let's get my stamping done. And on this one, I stamped with, what did I stamp with? With Old Olive. So let me get Old Olive in here. And the stamp set I used for this was, hold on, another free Sale-A-Bration stamp set. And this one is called Heal Your Heart. And let me get the catalog so I can tell you what page it's on. These are my marks. This is my personal catalog, and I just, you know, I just put my marks on here saying I'm going to get this one, I'm going to get the other one, I'm going to use this for a class, and so on. But on page 9 of the Sale-A-Bration catalog, you'll see Heal Your Heart. And this one coordinates with another free stamp set that you get here, which is Corner Bouquet. And you see how it has it? We're in this together. And that's here. Wishing I Could Heal Your Heart. And the paper that it's using is from Designer Series Set paper from the mini catalog, the January-June catalog. And I'll let you know which one it is because it's from our next card. Okay, so again, Heal Your Heart, and we're using the thank you, and I don't know what I would do without you. So let's get these things stamped, and let's start with the thank you. And just getting a piece of scratch paper here, and stamp thank you, and the greeting. And this thank you is a little bit wider than the punch that I used here, but it doesn't matter because you get the message on there. So you just have to center it correctly so that you get the whole thank you in there. And that's pretty easy, just center. Oh, I just want to get this straight. It looks kind of crooked to me. And I am stamping. I'm not stamping. Usually I stamp like with my head right over this, but I can't do that while I'm doing a Facebook Live because then my head would be in the way. See? You get it. It doesn't have this thing right there, but you know what? It still works. Oh, I thought it was connected. It's not connected. So that works. Let me clean this off, or just hold it. I can clean it off with the after the other one. And this one is going to be our greeting, and the greeting or our sentiment, and the sentiment inside says, I don't know what I would do without you. Now this one kind of crooked. I don't know why. Straighten it out a little. Make sure it's straight here. I guess moving it around a lot, who knows? Or maybe I just put the what do you call it? The sticker on crooked. We'll soon find out. Okay, so I just stamped it in the middle. You can stamp it, I'm stamping it in the middle. You can stamp it in the bottom, on the top, or I don't know what I would do without you. I'm going to stamp it a little bit towards the top on this one, because I think it's a good starting point for whatever you have to say to this person that you're thanking. And fairly decent. And then you can write your personal message there. So let me clean this up. I love these chamois, especially on the red rubber. It just comes right off. Even on the photopolymer, the only thing with the photopolymer is that photopolymer stains, so you get the impression that the ink is not coming off, but it does. I just like the satisfaction of seeing it come off on the red rubber. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. And again, I have another layer, and I am going to adhere this to that layer. Boom. Okay, center. Whoa. My fingers are stuck to the back of, and it's pulling it out. There we go. And we're going to, again, put this in the middle. And as you can see, this has the same layout as before. Remember, I went over and I said that, oh, I should have done it in the middle. And I remember why I did it in the middle, because it covers that. But no worries. We can work with that, and I'll show you how. Because this stamp that I have here basically covers the whole white spot there. Okay, this looks like it's okay. This is a little confusing because this is in a straight line, so it kind of throws me off, but it's straight. Okay, and you can see the U right there. Not a problem, we'll fix that. And yeah, I need to fix it just a little. Okay. Okay, so now we have this. I don't know if you can tell. Let me get this closer here. I have a very thin border of the Seaside spray right there. And I'll show you how we did that, because if you put this together, you'll see that there's no border because they're exactly the same size. So this is a trick that I've used, and most of you already know it. You cut this in half. Then we're going to take some adhesive towards the bottom of this, and we're going to adhere it to here, but you can give it as thick of a layer as you want or as thin of a layer. This one is very thin. I'm going to give it a thicker layer here on this one. Just be sure that whatever layer you do on the top, you should have the same layer on the bottom, or the same thickness of layers, what I mean. Hold on. So you just bring this here, and remember, same size layer. Try to get it as even as possible to the other one. And that is why I like using the liquid glue for this, because it gives me a few seconds to do that without permanently committing. Got like a rough edge there. Hold on a second. I'm just sanding this down. We used to sell these, we don't anymore, but this is those nail buffers. Basically, you can use one of those. Okay. And I'm going to use dimensionals for this, but before putting this down, what I'm going to do is I gave you some of these in seafoam, whatever it is. I'm so terrible with these names. And just cut them in half, because that way it just gives you more. It gives you more, it's more flexible to glue them on that way. I like cutting them in half, and it's like you've got a bunch of them. Okay, so when I'm going to adhere this on with dimensionals. So I can only put dimensionals on this side because I don't want to get it here, because then the card won't open. So what I'm going to do is figure out where I'm going to put it, flip it over, get my dimensionals on this punch. And remember, we're only going to do this on this side. So this is what I like to do. I said, okay, oh, I'm going to go here all the way to the end of the designer series paper. So I have basically half of it where I can put dimensionals. I'm going to put one here, because you don't want it to go over and then stick to the card, and you shut your card. Okay, and before that, what I wanted to do, okay, I didn't stick this one down. This one I kind of did. Okay, I'll have to figure that one out. Oh no, I did it on the other side. I'm right. I just thinking of something else. Forgive the crazy lady. And another one here. I don't really need this many dimensionals. The reason I'm using it is because I want to stick on these sprigs here. So just pull the covers off. And what I'm going to do is start layering sprigs onto here. Never mind. The sprigs are going to be layered on the other side. Just adhere this. I'll get it. It's a long time since I did this. Okay, so just center this. Look for the top and the bottom of this. And center it. And I think I'm good there. Press down. Good there. Nothing went through. Hold on. Okay, on this one it's going to be messed up. But I think I gave you 2 blues, and the reason I gave you 2 of the blues were so that you can put another one on the back side so you wouldn't see this. You see? And I'm still going to do that because I like to make my cards where they look perfect. So if you just pull gently, you can get that off. And just take remove the dimensionals, and they're not too hard to remove. If you have one of these gummy removers, they just rub right off. So we used to sell this. We don't have them anymore. I hope they bring it back. If not, you can find it in the craft store or my favorite place, Amazon. They have them. And they're called adhesive removers, I think. So just remove it. Everyone should have 2 of these blues, right? The sea foam or the seaside spray. Hi, Lori. Glad you made it. Let's see. Okay, so let me get another one of these. And like I said, this was just so that I can cover that. And it gives it a finished look. And you don't have to see that white in the middle. Yay! Okay, so we're going to put the dimensionals on again. And here they are. And it's going to be on this side. So do that quickly. And 2 or 3 should be enough. Remove. Boom, boom, boom. Center between the layers there. Here we go. Now what we're going to do, and I messed up again. OMG. Okay. We were going to get, oh, I still can. But before you put that layer there, I can't remember what I do from one day to another, but you're just going to put these things in there, the sprigs. Yep, that's what I did. So lucky me, I just put the adhesive on the center so I can get them in there. Whoop. So I'm going to cut this down just a bit. I'm going to use the liquid glue. Just a bit. And I am going to put this in there. So open that up. That's what I get for not looking at my instructions or remembering what I did. There we go. So we have this here. Now I got to cover that there. So that should be a pretty easy fix there. And I'm going to do that right now before I start adding the rest of it. And I'm just going to open this up here. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can. There we go. Opened it up. And voila! Right over that. Where do you see any writing or any stamping? Nowhere. Okay, now let's just get the rest of the stuff in there. Make it look pretty. And And remember, if you're following me, I apologize. If you're not following me, now you know what to do. Before putting that piece on there, the blue piece, add your sprigs. So let's add a couple more sprigs here. Thank you, Charlene. Glad you like it. Oh, good. You got 2 blues. I did send the right amount of blues. Okay, so give me a second off camera while I do this, because I need to be like right over this. So I might be pulling off camera. And I apologize, but I need to be like right over it. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to see my head, especially the way my hair looks now. I'm not having a good hair day. And in the bottom, so I got those on the top. Now let me get these on the bottom. Whoa. Things are active today. So on the bottom, the same thing, since I didn't add adhesive to... Oh, and make sure that you don't go past the base, because it's for it to fit in the envelope. So if you go back past the base just a little bit, that's okay, because the envelope is a little bit wider, but just try to stay within your within the base. And here we go. And one more. So it would have been a lot easier if I did this before adding that, but hey, it's live and everything goes awry when it's live, because every mistake you can make, you will make. Hold on. Okay. And while I was doing this like that, I separated the layers a little, so I'm just going to add a dot of liquid glue, hold it down, and this is what it should look like here. Voila. So you see where that where the greeting came off, and this one I stamped it. Oh, I stamped the greeting in the middle so that this covered it. But on this one, I stamped the greeting or the sentiment on the top. So then I just made sure one of the sprigs covered it, so that when you open up, you don't see that. And I have the dots again on this one. And these are not exactly the same color, but they're very, very close. It's sort of like in between the Seaside Spray and the Night of Navy. So that's a good compromise. And these are adhesive dots, so we don't have to add anything to them. You just pick them up with your tool and put them wherever you want. Okay, so now we're done with this one. So this one opens this way. And here are your 2 options with the designer series paper. Either way you fold it, make it yours. So my first sample was like this. The one we did today is like this. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, now let's go to our next card, which is the gift card holder. So this one is completely together. This designer series paper, which I love, 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 is from the January-June mini catalog. And it is on page, hold on. It is on page 33. Ignore my marks here. It's on page 33 and it's part of the Fine Art Floral Suite. And it has this beautiful, beautiful paper. I made the flowers. I've used this in another one, I think, already. And then this is this one. When I started this card, my base was going to be smoky slate. But then I decided, you know what? I want to bring out this tangerine here. And this, let me get the colors that it matches. This is the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper, and the cardstock or the colors that match it are Bumblebee, Flirty Flamingo, Merry Merlot, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, which is the one that I'm using here, the Poppy Parade. I got lost. Oh, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Saffron, Terracotta Tile, and Bright White, or Whisper White, or Bright White, whatever you have with you. And I just love this designer series paper. Let me pull out some here, because if you haven't seen it in my other classes, I just love it. Okay, this one, beautiful background. If you do shadow boxes or whatever, this has a beautiful background. And then the back side of this, look at that. Paintbrushes, watercolor, beautiful. And then we have these over here. I know I'm missing one because I used a lot of it in another class. Look at that. Let me see. Then we have this one. These are two together. You get two each. So I know you see 3 or 4, and it's because I've put 2 of them together. So you have this one. Hold on. This one, which is beautiful also. They're also beautiful. This one, which is a nice background also for a shadow box. Look at that. So, I mean, either side, they're just gorgeous. And that's the one that we had in there. Yep. So let me try getting this back in here. Let me try. And I think it's going to take a little more effort. So, no, I got it. Did I? Yes, I did. Well, almost. I'm going to put it to the side so I don't have to waste your time. But I'm persistent anyway. I did not get it. I broke it. So I'm just going to have to use one of my sleeves that we sell. And that's fine because it's sturdier. So let's just put that to the side. So this is Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. So here's my piece. Let's get all this stuff out. And this is not scored. So remember what I told you. We're going to score it at 2. And if it's at 2, 5, and 8. And if it's directional, make sure you score, well, it doesn't matter on this case because we just have to turn it around. But just pay attention if it's directional or whatever, and you're scoring. Whenever you're scoring designer series paper for something, or when you're cutting, that's the thing, cutting. Because if I would have cut it this way, it would have looked awful. Okay, so at 2, 5, the next one is 8, or the lazy designer. Flip over. And it's 4. Okay, so I've scored that. Just be careful when you're scoring. Designer Series paper is thinner than cardstock, but so it's thinner than cardstock, and you don't want to score too hard and then you rip the paper. Okay, so here's another option, but I really, really love this one. So I'm going to keep that one. I'm not going to do this. But if you like this one better, hey, go for it. But me personally, I like showing more of the, more of the flowers. So I'm going to flip it again. Use the bone folder to get those creases in there, nice and creased. And what I'm going to use is, you should have ribbon. And what I'm going to do is add the ribbon. Decide where you want the ribbon. You can have it lower, higher, or whatever. I want it probably 2/3 up. I didn't want it right in the middle because I wanted to hold this. So I went a little bit higher, but since I was going to center the greeting in the front, I didn't want the greeting to overlap, even though you can. It really doesn't matter. That's what I started doing. So I just checked. I said, okay, this is up here. So I just put adhesive on here, right across, so that I can get my ribbon on there. So center your ribbon. And let's see, before committing to this, turn it over, see where it comes up to. Yep, so that's good. So I'll commit to it, press down. Hold on a second, bear with me, people. Okay, now what I want to do is, I could use the seal, stamping seal, or liquid glue. You know, I like the liquid glue because I like to move it around a little. It's very, very forgiving for the first few seconds. After that, it's stuck. And liquid glue is a lot harder to get off. If you make a mistake, then after it dries permanently, then whoa, this one was too long. Okay, see this one, that's fine. We're going to keep it like this because I already adhered this. This was my mistake. I cut this one at 5.5 by 12, and it's supposed to be 5 1/4, so I get all the borders around, but it doesn't matter. It's still good this way. So let me just get it to the edge here so that it could be even. There we go. Okay. Press down, and now I have my my thing in here. So if I was to let this go, you see it's like this, but I'm not going to use any glue to adhere this at all. What I'm going to do is tie a knot, and I'm going to tie the knot, so we'll put the greeting on the other side. Tie a knot here. Whoops. And I have neuropathy, so tying a knot sometimes is not easy for me, but I do it. Okay, and pull on one side. There we go. If you ever want to get a flat bow, you hold on one side, don't pull on both sides. You hold on one side and pull on the other. Okay? A flat knot, not bow. So then just cut the ends off to even it out. I have adhesive on here, which I shouldn't because I cut something that had glue here. So forgive me, let me use my other one. Hold on. Nice and sharp. And voila. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, so you have your knot there. Stamp, I stamped this already, so let's use this one. The ink that I used for this was Poppy Parade to match the card base. And what I did was I put dimensionals on the top and on the bottom. And on this one, actually, you can put in the middle because this is a very, very thin ribbon. So it doesn't matter. But usually when I have ribbon in the middle, I tend not to do anything, put any dimensionals in the middle because then it'll be too thick. This one doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is here on the middle. Here we go. There we go. So let's remove this. Oh. And 4. Okay. And like I said, it can go over, it doesn't matter. Oh, but it does matter on this case. I shouldn't have put dimensional here because if I'm going over, so that top dimensional has to go away. No bother, no problem. Because this one I put a little bit higher than the other one, so that's why I couldn't get that other dimensional on the top. But no problem. So here and press down. There we go. Then for the inside, for the greeting on the inside, I have a piece of bright white or whisper white, 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, and you can stamp whatever greeting you want on the inside. The one I used is just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way, and this is from both of them, the happy birthday and the just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way from the Happy Thoughts stamp set. And this is in the January-June stamp set. I mean, January-June catalog. I'm not sure what page it's on, but you can look it up. It's called Happy Thoughts. And I love this because it's just happy things. The little things you do so well and so often make a big difference to so many people. Thinking of you, thank you, congratulations. Today is great because it's all about you. The great person you are, the great things you do. I just love these greetings, these happy thoughts. Awesome. So, since this is a gift card holder, I'm saying I just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. Happy thoughts with happy dollars or happy gift card, whatever. I'm stamping it in the middle. You can stamp it wherever you want, but just be careful not to stamp it too close to the top edge because then it'll show through, and we don't want that. And I got a little bit of ink on the bottom. Oh, on the bottom, on the side. So let me see if I have a flower thing anywhere. Darn it. Okay, I'll fix it after, but I'll just get a stamp that has flowers, and what I'll do is I'll just stamp a flower there, because a mistake is always a chance to embellish. So I will embellish this with flowers. Let me clean this off, because apparently this one doesn't show so much, but it's very dark. Here it goes. I got it on here. That's where I got that from. It's very dark, and the reason it doesn't show up here because it's so close to the red rubber that you have here, so you don't notice that you have a very dark ink on here. And let me just wiping my finger on here too, making sure I don't have any more to spread on anything else. Oh, look at this. Look at the mess I made. Okay, so just stick that in there. That's why I said don't stamp too high there, because then you'll be able to see it, because I'm pushing this all the way down. And then you have this pocket here, which you can use for a gift card. I don't have a gift card with me, so this is one of my business cards. And you can put your gift card right here to the side. You can push it all the way down, and they'll see that there's something there. Or just bring it up a little, put it there. You can hold it with a glue dot if you want. I personally wouldn't. I'll just put it all the way down to the bottom. But no, not really. If you want the gift card to stand out, just put a little glue dot behind it and it'll stand out there. Then they can pull out, they'll see that it's a gift card, then they'll see there's something here and they'll pull it out and nothing comes apart. Well, because I don't see, nothing comes apart. And this is the third fold that we have, or third layout for the fold, with the same exact fold, which is from a piece of 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 by 12, and we get these beautiful, beautiful cards. So I hope you enjoyed this class. We're about done here. You have your happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a like, share this video. If you share this video with your friends, you get into a drawing for some prizes that I give away. And you'll know when you get it. So this is Wanda Smith again from Stamping All Night Long. You can go to wandacreates.com. That's my blog. Or you can go to, obviously on Facebook, you're here, but it's Stamping All Night Long. And you can look up my YouTube channel. It's in Stamping All Night Long. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, like my Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Press the bell so that you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. And that's it. I hope you love this and purchase my kits, or just watch the classes and then purchase the products to make this from me. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator if you don't have one. So again, Wanda Smith, I'm glad you love the cards. I'm glad you loved it, Kathy and Kelly. I love them too. Make lots of cards. Make lots of use of the free products you can get from Sale-A-Bration. And this celebration is a lot shorter. Remember, it ends February 28th, and the only reason it's ending sooner is because we're having another celebration later on. So bonus. Oh, Sandra, you're on here. Hi, Sandra. So, and Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope 2021 will bring many blessings to all of you. Think it's going to bring many blessings to me and my family. So remember, just like my page, share it, And I will see you next time in my next class, which is the Stamp-A-Stack, where we stamp 10 cards and 2 designs, 5 of each. It's going to be on, I don't have the date here. I think it's going to be January 30th, if I'm not mistaken. It's still going to be the last Saturday of this month. So I think it's January 30th. And at the same time, at 10 o'clock, you still have time to purchase the kits. I have not designed it yet. I will hopefully design it this weekend, and you can see what we're going to stamp. But I'm a procrastinator, so my stampers know that I don't stamp or design right away, and they're always happy with my cards. And I hope all of you are happy with my cards and can trust me on this. So again, Wanda Smith saying goodbye, and I hope you have a great weekend and come back and keep visiting me. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.